The ACP cured my gender dysphoria. What is going on, you skibbity toilets? I do not know if I will ever post this because I'm going to talk about something that's kind of personal, but also kind of not personal at the same time. And that's going to be that don't look at my trash. I want to talk about how I recently participated in a drayage trucking event with the ACP squad, and that in itself was a very enjoyable time. I was nervous to go out there, right? I'm always nervous to go out places, but I went out there. I was wearing a vest. I was standing on a corner. I was running up to truckers. I was using my pattern recognition skills to time the lights and help my comrades not get ran over by a truck. One of my comrades got clipped by a truck. He got clipped. He got hit. He got hit by a car. Like, that's crazy. Not even a car. He got hit by an 18-wheeler. He didn't even die. He didn't even die. But that was when I got implemented as the pattern seeker. Anyways, so that was some personal validation that I had in the moment. It was I just love that stuff. It's so fun. I love it. Anyways, point being that the Drage event was fun, and apparently it's like to connect with intermodal truckers. So they go to like these like intermodal depots, right? And like there's a bunch of stuff there. One way I kind of thought about it was like, imagine like an Amazon warehouse, but instead of delivering the final package to houses, the Amazon warehouse in the analogy is like an intermodal logistics thing. And the like your house in this example is like a business, like a Walmart or like some other store that like has ordered from one of these big trucks, right? So it's like these people are kind of the ones actually moving products around the whole country, right? So like that's very close to the source of industry and what is actually coming out of it. Because a lot of the stuff being shipped isn't like final products, a lot of it is, raw materials as well. But the point that I actually want to talk about is afterwards, where we went to the beach and I got a bathing suit. And okay, story time. I haven't been to the beach in like 3 years, right? So I've been transitioning for 3 or 4 years. My first year, my first year of transition, I went to the beach and I wore a bathing suit. I wore a bathing suit. And honestly, I probably looked pretty bad. If I have a picture, I'll put it up. Why not? YOLO. Screw it. We were all early transition, late transition at one point, right? But, well, not all of us, but some of us are, and I'm one of them. So I was early transitioned at that point, and I wore a bathing suit, and I only did it one time, and I had a girlfriend, and she was like my vote of confidence. I felt very safe with her. And my point is, I felt very safe and secure around her. And even with other partners, other friends, other dynamics, group dynamics, even family dynamics, etc., I have felt uncomfortable returning to the beach because of my own dysphoria, because of my fears of like public perception, mostly because of my fear of like the water and dysphoria, right? But like I've gone to the beach before, like as like a guy or whatever. So I in my head it's like I'm scared of the water, but am I just telling myself I'm scared of the water because I'm actually scared of other things and I'm like projecting it out? Anyway, that's not important. I think I am actually scared of the water. I think I was scared of the water prior to my transition as well. So that's like something that is longer seated in me. But anyways, my point is I wore a bathing suit all that time ago and then I never went to the beach again because I was too afraid, right? And like now, I don't know. I was with this group of ACP people. I felt nervous about wearing a bathing suit in front of everybody because it's like a bathing suit, right? And it's like I didn't even have a bathing suit, so I had to go to the store to get one. And I'm like sitting in there at the Ross, and like I didn't want to try on any bathing suits because personally I wouldn't want to try on things like underwear, socks, or bathing suits. Uh, at a store. Like bras are probably fine because I don't really care about like boobs, other people's boobs touching me. But like I wouldn't want somebody's genitals touching me, or like even just skin in general is weird if I think about it too much. But you can't really get away from touching other people's dead skin cells, so I just try not to think about that one so much, or I'll just get really freaked out and it'll really do bad things to my brain. So we're not going to do that anymore. We're gonna backpedal. We're gonna pull that one back. I wanted to talk, I guess, about. I was talking to somebody about it earlier, and they said like, yeah, like you had a pack, like of course you felt safe. You're the beach, or no, I made a comment because I don't know if y'all notice, but I am a trans woman, and some people say that I am attractive, or no, they can say and here, or clocky, or very tall, or like there's a lot of characteristics that might make somebody look at an individual such as myself. So when people were looking at me on the beach, I did get a little nervous, and it freaked me out a little, and I had some brainwormed thoughts come up. I will not lie. Like, what if I start getting beaten up on the beach for existing as a degenerate transgender who shouldn't exist in public? These were the kinds of things that I was thinking. I was thinking things along the lines of, "Oh my god, this is a beach. Trans people shouldn't be here. This is not like a good space." I'm also in Texas, so that's the other thing to keep in mind with all of these things. Um, I was a little panicky at various times, and like I'm in a bathing suit. I actually was in two bathing suits. I had the one bathing suit, and like I will not lie, you could see a little if I stood the wrong way. So I was like, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work for Cat the Vat. It was a one piece bathing suit, right? I have pictures. I'll put pictures up. I look cute. I did look cute in the bathing suit. But if I stood certain ways, you could like see up the bathing suit. You know what I mean? So I got another bathing suit bottoms. And I did, I did what I needed to take care of the situation so that nothing, other issues with the one piece was kind of loose because I'm like tall and lanky, so I gotta get big clothes so they'll fit me in like height, but then like I don't actually fit in the big clothes. So it's like a weird thing. So the things are kind of loose. My point that I'm getting at is that I had two bathing suits on. So like I was good. I was covered. Nothing bad was going to happen, but my brain was freaking out. But it was fine. It was fine. But then like yeah, the person I was talking about earlier was like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, you would have had a pack if anybody tried anything though." And I was like, "Yeah, but I'm really not trying to start conflict. Like I just wanted to coexist." And I did get to coexist, and it was fine, and I had a lot of men staring at me on the beach, and it was fine. And in my head, I was getting clocked and they were laughing at me, but they could have just been looking at me on the beach. And like, I guess all of this is to say, the end result is everything went well. I'm a trans woman in Texas. I successfully, oh my god, my ears are so big. I look like an elf, and they're like a little burnt too. Oh my god, they're sorry. I'm a trans woman in Texas. I went to the beach. Things were okay. I survived. I got really sunburnt. I guess I didn't survive in that regard, but I even used sunscreen as the sad part. I used sunscreen and it didn't even do what I needed it to. I guess I needed to reapply. I was in the water for a long time because I was scared of the water, but then they were getting in. Like I'm there with all these like guys, right? And like they were getting in the water, so I was like, I want to get in the water. Like that's fun. Like if everybody else is getting in the water, I don't want to just sit under the umbrella like a loser. Because I don't know. Maybe I still feel a little bit of the interpersonal competition. Okay, and I was not about to be like I'm not. I am scared of the water, but I'm not too scared to get in. And like, I'm in a bathing suit. I literally just bought two bathing suits to go swimming today. I'm getting in the freaking water. And I did, and it was fine, and it was so good. Honestly, the water felt so good. It was a great temperature. We're down here in Texas, so it's the Gulf of Mexico. Though it was really it was really dirty. I think the water was really brown. It was really brown. It was really brown. But it was fun. There was also like all these like seaweed tumbly things in there. That low key skeeved me out a little. I'm not gonna lie. They kept like scratching on me. Somebody apparently got stung by a jellyfish. That's what one of my comrades was saying. Somebody they were near got stung by a jellyfish. But all in all, I guess what I wanted to say was that the ACP cured my gender dysphoria. That's the clickbait intro. Just kidding. They didn't actually cure my gender dysphoria. I guess what I do want to say is that, like, for some reason, being with this political organization as like an identity, right? If I think of myself as a language model, which I'm much more than a language model. I would still call myself a probabilistic model, a predictive model, but I would say I'm more than just a language model, right? But using the things that are accessible, if we take a language model and we context prime it with all these things of like, you are this identity, you are this identity, like this is your primary identity, these are the things you believe, etc., right? Being primed under the idea of I am transgender, like this like ID poll trans system of belief. And I just say ID poll to refer to like LGBTQ, not as like the people inside of it, but as like the thing being pushed during Pride Month with like advertisements and sales and commercialization and etc., etc., all these things. But like identifying into this idea of transness, right? Well, a lot of it was for me individually to experience more of the world. A lot of it was like guided by other factors, I guess. Anyways, what I am trying to get at here is that, what am I trying to get at? I think I'm trying to say that when I was identifying under the identity of trans, I initially felt very confident and powerful in this identity. I had a new opportunity with un uncrystallized entropy, undeveloped virtual terrain for my sing there, and I got to learn and develop myself a lot as an individual through this sense of trans identity. As I started to learn more about both the pro trans system of beliefs and the anti trans system of beliefs, I found myself more hesitant, I guess, maybe, for the internalization of brainworms. I also I put myself through a lot of environmental conditions that definitely didn't help with my sphere of the outside that I am thankfully pushing through and have been pushing through for quite a while now, but it's been quite the journey. But what I'm really getting at here, I guess, is that identifying under this new collective identity, because the other thing is that even with other queer people, even with other trans people, even with other gay people, LGBTQ people, I still felt awkward in spaces that were like beachy or like that. I don't know. I still felt uncomfortable being around them, I guess. I don't know. The vibes were just weird. And like I'm also extremely awkward, well, sometimes, in like more public nudity settings. So it's and I say sometimes, so it's definitely not like a pure fear of just being in public or coexisting. There's something about, I think there maybe is something about identifying into this individualist belief system that you know other people don't align to at all, right? Like if you're one of the things that I and other trans women have talked about is like there's a lot of aspects of our identity and our socialization, right? Through like transgender socialization. Because if you look at my other video about socialization, I called it parasociality or something. If you watch that video, I talk about it more. But like this system of transgenderism, transsociality is like we learn a lot both about ourselves but also about the way that society functions. A lot of people will disagree with that and say like, no, you don't know anything about society or how it works. But I think a lot of us, especially those of us that are able to kind of align with the various poles along the gender axis at various times, we're able to like see all these different sides of socialization at large that exist. You know, the transgender socialization is the socialization of experiencing all these different like rule sets and getting to like I don't know, you can identify a lot of stuff through that, but it's very isolating as the individual. And I think there may be something to be said about, for some reason, me identifying as an ACP member, as this type of communist, this like, we are going to fight for our America as proud Americans, right? This sense of patriotism for the beautiful country that we have, even despite its downsides. Like right now, I think I think Trump maybe is like trying to sell off tons of our land. And it's like, why? We have a beautiful country with beautiful land that people come all over the world to come see. Why are you ruining it? And it feels good to be able to identify with a group that believes in a strong communist America. But I think that belief, or that like feeling of like strength, maybe extends far past my self identity as a communist or as an ACP member. Since I've started getting involved with ACP, and even before this, so a lot of this could be my own working through of my own issues, right? And like I will admit, even in my periods of isolation, I still found times to socialize. I'm not saying I was like I've been shut in for 7 years agoraphobic. That's not what I'm saying. I get too scared to walk into stores sometimes, or historically speaking, I will like make the drive. I will make round trips upwards, especially when I was living out in the cut. I would make round trips of like 30 minutes, an hour, just to get too scared of being in the store, in the cut, in like a Walmart. There's not that many people in the cut in a Walmart. But the point is, I've been feeling a lot better since joining the ACP. I've been feeling good knowing that there are people who have my back. God forbid anything happens. And not even in like oh, I'm out there provoking fights or I'm out there provoking people, but it's like I'm a con- I'm a trans woman in Texas, and I love queer organizations. Don't get me wrong. I've learned a lot from them. I said this in a different video. I love them. I personally support them. I think it's good to have a diversification of beliefs in the public market. I don't think they should fight to be the end all be all. I think it's good to foster community for various communities of people. I don't think we need to push everything fully nationally, right? Like, and that's not saying never have a queer person in a television show. That's not saying don't teach about queer people or like transgender people or homosexuality in like sex ed or whatever. I'm just saying, like, I don't know, pink washing, which is like rainbow capitalism, Pride Month commercialism. While it feels nice to be like seen, I guess, or to feel seen, it's like, oh yeah, Target sees me. It's like, I don't know. Do I need to be seen by Target? Not really, truthfully. And it's like, I don't know. I think there are a lot of strong and powerful trans women who we could recognize in history Oh, I didn't even mean to. I was gonna say historical, but then I accidentally did a misgender of her story. Oh my god! Just kidding. That wasn't. I'm doing that bit retroactively. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I shouldn't play around like that in this political climate. But um, there are a lot of trans women in historical record in America, even right that we could draw from, and like I don't understand why we need to worship them for being trans when we could worship them for their role in the various advancements and like material improvements of the society in which they lived, right? Like why I don't know, but I feel that way about most groups, right? Like you don't even want to get me started. You don't even want to get me started because I have hot takes. I have hot takes. I guarantee it. I just it just doesn't feel worth it, you know? But what does feel worth it for me is being in the Communist Party and feeling the courage that comes from being in a party that's actually willing to stand up for what they believe in. I don't know how crazy that is, and I'm not talking trash on other parties. I'm just saying like I am imbued with a certain strength from having in my context window that I'm an ACP member that I think is important. And I think they are really hitting on certain aspects of the info war, of that like propagandized semiotic underlying messaging, right? That like unspoken vibe. Also, oh my god, I was watching what was I watching today? I was watching Black Hawk Down, the movie from 2001, the one with like the actors, not the documentary. And I noticed that I'm pretty sure ACP took a clip, like a frame from that movie, and used it in some of their propaganda, which low key, that's crazy, but that's low key so hard hitting. Because it's good. I don't know, but I'd never seen it before today, and it was resonant. It was resonant. Although I don't know. No, that's it. That's all I got. I got really sunburnt. I had a good time at the beach. I felt embarrassed to be in a bathing suit, uh, but it wasn't awkward. Well, Loki. No, oh my god. Y'all get this as a treat because we're at the end of the video, but I didn't expect to go to the beach, right? I just expected to like do this trucker event and maybe like get some food or something with the group and then like leave and go home. But going to the beach, my legs were shaved, my arms were shaved, my face was shaved, my chest was not shaved. It wasn't so bad. It wasn't so bad because I do pluck it like pretty often, and I definitely had some hair though because I haven't plucked it so often, so recently. So that was a little awkward. And also the other awkward thing in the in the areas that are not nice to be spoken about in public. Um, there was definitely let let's just say the hedges the hedges were hedging. So in addition to the mountain of a molehill, we also had hedges around the molehill. So it was a situation, but my legs were shaved. My legs were shaved. But someone's definitely peeking out. I think not the bad stuff, just the hair, because I couldn't get all the hair, and then I would like get in the water and out of the water, and I was freaking out that like something was messing up with my bathing suit then. But I checked it like a million times. I checked it like a million and a half times. Um, but the hair was not something I could beat. Anyways, that's all I got. I love you. Low key, find your own labels that help you feel confident as a person. I'm just talking about my own experiences. That's what this channel was initially. It was just me coming on here and yapping about my life and experiences or whatever. And then I got all like serious about it, and I was like, I feel a pressure. I gotta be a certain way for the lovely people that subscribe to me, and I still want to make very good content for all of you. But my original content, my OPOG content was just me yapping. Yeah, it was me yapping in the woods. It was me yapping in the woods. Unfortunately, I don't live in the woods anymore. But I hope to move back one day, and I will make more woods videos. Okay, that is all. I love you, and goodbye.